Hey queens, kings, everyone else in between or outside the scene. I'm Kayla Queen Melan, aka K Melan, and today we'll be discussing Trump making another statement and the laws he's trying to pass and policies he's trying to enforce. So, yes, as you can probably already hear my voice, quite upset, but now let's get into it. And so, right here, I'm going to read this article and then I will go into my thoughts about it. So, President Donald Trump on Tuesday signed an executive order aimed at cutting federal support for gender transitions for people under 19, his latest move to roll back protections for transgender people across the country. And here's a quote: "It is the policy of the United States that it will not fund, sponsor, promote, assist, or support the so-called transition of a child from one sex to another, and it will rigorously enforce all laws that prohibit or limit these destructive and life-altering procedures," Trump said in a statement. So yeah, order directs that federally run insurance programs, including TRICARE for military families and Medicare, exclude coverage for such care and calls on the Department of Justice to vigorously ensue legislation to oppose the practice. And so basically, here he's talking about, yeah, you won't be able to get trans health care under insurance, which is very unfortunate if you're under the age of 19, which I am currently under the age of 19. I am 16, in fact. And this will definitely affect me so much. Luckily, though, I do have workarounds, as we all. And so, yeah, but at the end of the day, this is extremely disheartening to see the fact that this may become a fact because it would make it so much harder for trans kids. And that's what he wants. Medicare programs in some states cover gender affirming care. The new order suggests that practice could end and target hospitals and universities that receive federal money and provide the care. It's likely to be challenged in court. The push is the latest by Trump to reverse policies by the Biden administration to protect transgender people and their care. Correct. On Monday, Trump directed the Pentagon to conduct a review that is likely to lead them being banned from the military service, which is just fucking stupid because of the fact that it will cost them a lot of money, but you know, they don't quite know that. Or rather, they know that, but they don't care because they just want to eradicate trans people. And so, hours after taking office last week, Trump signed another order that seeks to define sex as only male or female, not recognizing transgender, non-binary, or intersex people, or the idea that gender can be fluid. Yes, and I think the most important part of this here is the fact that he doesn't recognize intersex people. That should be a huge red flag for people. It's one thing when trans people are so propped up in the media right now and we're so not listened to. You know, it's one thing to say that there's something wrong with us, but intersex people have been recognized for a lot longer. I'm pretty sure. And I'm pretty sure also people is going to be not as okay with that as they are with getting rid of trans people. So let that kind of sink in. Already that's resulted in the State Department halting issuing passports with X gender markers, forcing transgender people to apply for travel documents with markers that don't match their identities. Yes, this is something else he has done. And I wish I would have made videos on all these, but first of all, he's doing it back to back to back. Second of all, I just didn't have the confidence to do it. But I think now it's starting to get a little too crazy, and I unfortunately really do have to stand up for my community. I don't want to, but at this point, I think I most definitely will. I would love to keep making these lovely, fun videos, me doing what I love, my hobbies, but yes. And so, even as transgender people have gained visibility and acceptance in some fronts, they've become major targets for social conservatives. In recent years, at least 26 states have adopted laws restricting or banning gender affirming medical care for transgender minors. Yes. And most of these states face lawsuits, including one in Tennessee that's pending before the U.S. Supreme Court. And yes, a lot of YouTubers have covered this already, and it's not looking too good currently. But none of this is looking too good, so I don't know. That's not really a standout to me right now, currently. Um, because, okay, let me say my point of view on this currently before I go on with anything else. I think we may have to lose a lot before we can gain anything, really. I think we may have to do that. As harsh as that sounds, in history, it's happened before. It wasn't just like, oh, black people came out of slavery and was instantly able to be in normal life. No, black folks came out of slavery and then had to be separated from the rest of the public. And then they got even more rights. So, yes. And just so you know, if you don't, I'm black. So, yes. And it's actually the parallels to history that's going on right now is insane. But let's continue on. Republican controlled states have also moved to keep transgender women and girls from competing in women's or girls' sports and to dictate which bathroom transgender people can use, particularly in schools. Now, for me, I am currently not in school. I actually took my GED. And so, yes, I am not in school, but when I was, it was, yeah, there was no way I was going to be able to use a damn woman's restroom. Nor did I, even though I asked the teachers, let me just say this, even though I asked the teachers multiple times to use my correct pronouns, they never did. My mother never really gave to either. She, sorry for my language, but I do live with my mother and she didn't really care. Thing is, my mother is that since pretty much every other person in my life currently have abandoned me, uh, because of being so damn queer, she's not going to do it, but also she's not overly supportive. I guess that's a good way to describe it. I don't think I have done that before, but that's definitely a good way to describe her. But anyways, let's move on to this quote here, which I think is extremely important as well. So it's very clear that this order, in combination with the other orders that we've seen over the past week, are meant to not protect anyone in this country, but rather to single-mindedly drive out transgender people of all ages from walks of civil life. Which is, yes, that is definitely true. He doesn't want to protect anybody. He say he want to protect women. He say he want to protect trans kids or kids. But he doesn't want to protect anybody. He just wants trans people eradicated. This is literal genocide happening right in front of our eyes. And sooner than later, he's going to find some way to make trans people illegal or less than human in some way. Which, if you know history, anytime a group of people is considered less than human, it does not end well. It really doesn't. Now reading all that, I am going to say my closing thoughts before ending this out. So, this all has me very terrified. Like I said at the beginning of this, I have not wanted to say anything on it because I'm scared. At the end of the day, I'm a child. A child lived my life, and all this is just happening. Literally back to back to back. I bet you there's going to be something else in the next week. multiple things probably the next week that is going to be announced to be happening. Now the thing is, not all these probably will be actually happening because they have to get past a lot of certification, but at the same time, a lot probably will. I do not have that much faith in the government. I really don't. Um, so yeah, this has me pretty terrified, and I don't know. I do not know, but yeah. Hopefully, y'all have an amazing, lovely day, and yeah, bye.